Now, you saw a video. What we tried to do is, while some of us were talking, we tried to show a sneak peek what goes behind the scenes to put such a lovely event together. But now, it is important for us to take about 3 minutes and look at what accomplishments TCF has done over the past 2 decades, and in particular, the contributions that you provide and have been providing over the past 8 years, and hopefully those wallets are ready to be spent today. So with that, a little something on TCF.
Collectively, you have donated generously $6.9 million for this wonderful cause. So a round of applause for all of you. What that means is 96 cents of every dollar you contribute goes directly to the children. I would now like to welcome our first guest, the CEO of TCF, Syed Asad Ayub, for a Q&A with Adnan. And let me say a couple of words about Asad. He has been spearheading TCF since 2009. Under his able leadership, TCF has more than doubled. He left a thriving career in the private sector, specifically in the oil and gas industry, took a massive pay cut to do this because this is close to his heart and to help the children of Pakistan. So thank you, Asad, for your leadership and dedication. And thank you, Adnan, for asking some questions for the benefit of the audience here.
Thank you, sir, for being here.
Thank you very much.
One of the things that we've been thinking about and talking about, TCF has been around for over 2 decades now. And you've built 1,400 schools nationwide and growing, over 200,000 children. What are the goals for the next 5 years?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank all of you for being here. I've attended a few galas, but I must say that this is the most special one that I've ever come to. MashaAllah, very well arranged and a great crowd here. Thank you very much, all of you, for coming. TCF, when we started, our goal was to build 1,000 schools. And alhamdulillah, we accomplished that in 2014. And since around that time, we've been thinking that what is the next step that we need to do. The brick and mortar model that we have is something that is an expensive model also, because today we need about $30 million just to run the show. So, and 2 years back, we needed about $23 million. So you can look at the pace, the growth that we've been having. And as was mentioned earlier, we need to make sure that it is sustained. So at the same time, we've been looking at other models. And one of the things that came to our mind and that we are working on right now is public-private partnership. It's been an area that we've thought about for a long time. But it's also an area which has its own issues, because government schools, the model that government had earlier was that they would give you a government school, but you'd have to take the government teachers along with the school. And that's not a very fruitful and a model that will really work, because these government teachers are the same teachers that don't attend schools. There's huge absenteeism, and the results of these schools are really pathetic. So this time around, Punjab government started this model, which was that they gave us a school, the building, and 700 rupees along with for each child that we have. And these schools, on an average, are like 2-room schools, 2.5-room schools. They had about 40 students each. Today, mashallah, TCF is running 250 plus schools in Punjab, and the enrollment has shot over to 100 kids from 40. The pass percentage, which used to be around 20%, has now gone up to 90%.
Do you see this trend continuing with government of Punjab or Sindh or KP approaching TCF to say, start taking over our schools?
Yeah. I think what's happening is that other governments, KP and Sindh and Balochistan, in fact, we are in negotiation with all of these governments, and they're talking about giving over maybe 100 schools, 200 schools initially. But Punjab is taking the lead. They've already given over about 5,000 schools to private individuals and organizations like TCF. And we've taken 250 of these schools. So I think this is a trend that is likely to continue. And inshallah, I think that's going to make a great change in public education.
And the organization is actually ready to take on this particular challenge, because it seems like it sort of deviates from the model that you had before.
As I said, when we were reaching 1,000 schools, we already started thinking that what's the next goal? And we decided that it would be to magnify TCF's impact and to take it to 1.5 million children. But we know that the brick and mortar model, if we need $30 million today, we would need maybe $200 million if it was the brick and mortar model only. So we had to go for different models, and I think this is something that is likely to continue and inshallah be successful.
So next time we stand here will be over how many schools? Are we going to be close to 2,000 schools?
To be honest, we were asked to take over 300 more schools by Punjab government, but we refused. The reason we refused was not because the organization doesn't have the strength to take these schools. We started 300 schools just in 1 year, last year. So we have that strength, we have that capability, alhamdulillah. But there are issues of fundraising, because we feel, and in fact, let me tell you that we are spending much more than what we are getting from the government. So we get 700 rupees per child, which is $7. We are spending $15 per child. So we are getting all the subsidy to these schools. And we feel that this is something that should not be subsidized by others. It is something that should be actually taken care of by the government. So we're kind of holding back on it, but we are hoping, inshallah, next time that we meet, that there'll be a few hundred more. And in time, we think that this will grow to be far bigger than what TCF is right now.
My last question. 20 years, you must have worked with a lot of volunteers.
Right.
Talk to us about what do the volunteers bring to the table to an organization like TCF?
For me, TCF is like a big family. There are some people who are working within the organization, and there are others like you who are working for the organization. And I must say that sometimes with far more passion and spirit than one would imagine that is possible. You're thousands of miles away, yet you're working for this cause which is greater than all of us. We also have volunteer programs like Rahbar volunteer program that you mentioned. We have kids coming to summer camp, kids coming from elite schools who are working with our kids in improving their English, improving their maths, doing plays with them. And for our own children, I think it's a great experience to interact with these volunteers, because the one thing that it does for them is also provide them role models. So I think the volunteer spirit is very much the spirit of TCF.
Indeed. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming here, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mr. Asad Ayub. Ladies and gentlemen, our own Alia Ahmed.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege to share with you my experience with the Citizens Foundation, and I would like to thank the organizing committee of the TCF Gala for giving me this opportunity to speak. I worked at the TCF headquarters in Karachi, Pakistan last summer. I entered data such as attendance records and school materials from all the TCF schools in the Karachi region into the system. I compiled a handbook of academic requirements for over 50 colleges in Pakistan for TCF seniors, and I helped to grade pre-commerce, pre-medical, and pre-engineering exam papers for TCF seniors applying to the TCF college. So, Why did I do this? I did this because I've gone to Pakistan every single year since I was 2 months old, and every time I go, I'm bombarded with so many faces of children, some my age, some even younger, knocking on the car window at red lights. It is heartbreaking. I attended the gala last year in Washington, and I was inspired. And suddenly, I saw a way for those children to be at school instead of on the streets. I was determined to help this amazing organization. I've also always had an interest in education. At my high school, I've tutored DC public school students in math and English for the past 4 years. And as a senior, I'm president of the Kid Power Tutoring Club, through which about 25 Sidwell students tutor DC public school students. Through this speech, I hope to share with you some things that I observed while working at TCF. While I was working at the TCF headquarters, there were really 3 things that stood out to me. One was the commitment of both the volunteers and employees. As part of community service, students from LUMS, IBA, and other prestigious Pakistani universities would teach classes and advise TCF students. We would all meet outside of working hours, often on weekends, to discuss what had worked well each week and how to improve our effectiveness. People would come early and stay late every single day. I think this truly shows how passionate and dedicated people were to the TCF goals. Second, most of the managers were women. As someone who was out there on the mall at the Women's March in DC this past January, it felt great to see TCF empowering women in this way. And of course, they were all excellent and extremely effective. Thirdly, the work environment at the TCF headquarters was physically designed to foster collaboration, as you can see from the photos. Quite apart from being an extremely modern building, each department was organized in an open plan arrangement, making it easy to collaborate with colleagues. There was also quiet rooms for research and spaces for meeting with colleagues from other departments, which allowed a cross-department collaboration. Through this experience, I also got a better understanding of the content of a TCF education relative to an American one. As I was grading TCF seniors' papers for entry to the new TCF college, I was particularly impressed with the material covered of all 3 sciences, biology, chemistry, and physics. The majority of students scored well in their math exams, which suggests that they truly understood the material and that the teaching was of a very good quality. TCF also instills very good values in its students. For example, I still remember my visit to a TCF school. It was striking, seeing the clean and organized environment of a school, right across from a creek filled with trash in a slum area. The school walls were covered with inspirational messages about the value of education, urging students to let their minds grow, and informative posters about basic hygiene and not littering. You know, one poster really stuck with me. It boldly declared, "The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you." There is so much brain power in Pakistan, and TCF schools provide the opportunity to so many kids to unleash their potential and really benefit the country. One day, I hope to go back to Pakistan and not see a single child standing on the streets begging. And TCF is moving us closer to that day. Thank you.
Please welcome Dean Abedullah.
How about a round of applause for the organizers who are volunteering to make this beautiful event for an amazing cause happen? Last night, Adnan, you sound like every James Bond villain. You're remarkable. So Zafar Ali is the son of a truck driver and one of 10 siblings. He is truly the first TCF graduate to pursue higher education abroad. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce someone that you should be proud of for his hard work and be proud of yourself for making this happen. Please welcome Zafar Ali.
I was born in Tehsil, Landikotal of Khyber Agency, FATA. I went to school till 7th grade there, till the bell rang for us to leave, mainly because of law and order situation in FATA. We came to Karachi in late 2009. It was hard for me to communicate as I didn't even know how to speak Urdu. A school was yet a faraway dream for me. My father, Mudassir, being a truck driver, was usually never at home. And as nobody ever went to a college in our family, the attention on my education amounted to nothing. If the expectations and dreams of my family were still there, we were anchored against our circumstances to be able to pursue quality education. That was until I came to know about the Citizens Foundation. After I had seen the building, which was the best in our colony, I was naturally drawn to it. TCF first and foremost reminded me that I had a place in society, that if I tried, I could make it. Our teachers were very supportive, and there was individual focus on every single child. There were parents' meetings on consistent basis that would remind parents about importance of education and how they could help improve their children. I graduated from TCF in 2013, studied in DJ's Sindh Government Science College for a year, and then got a scholarship to United World College in Master. That scholarship was in part possible because TCF let me know that there was this opportunity. They provided us the application forms and helped us submit them. Even after my departure to UWC, they kept track of my development. So when I got a scholarship to study in Lewis and Clark College, they helped me with the visa process. Same is the case for many other thousands of TCF alumni who were supported through TCF Alumni Development Program. The kid who often couldn't afford to buy himself a meal for $50 studies in the United States of America today. In one of most prestigious liberal arts colleges on almost full scholarship. Similar is the case for my 6 siblings. My elder sisters could never go to school, but now my 4 sisters and 2 brothers all go to a TCF school. In this fashion, TCF helps bring education to thousands of families. The wheel of education will help push forward our societies, bring about much needed changes, and enable many to live meaningful lives. 21 years ago, almost 2 decades ago, when 5 friends decided to commit to educating the less privileged ones and transforming societies, it was a dream, a hope that someday they will build 1,000 schools. Today, the number is above 1,400. Similarly, when 19 years ago, Shimi Appa and few others decided to collect funds for TCF in USA, there was a dream that someday they will be able to expand in the whole country. And now TCF USA has chapters in almost every major city. So tonight, I ask of you to make it possible for many others, Zafar, for those millions of other kids who are still on the streets and out of the schools. I ask you to bring many more here. I want more people like Uncle Shakil and Shimi Appa, who started this whole movement here in USA. I want many other people like that to make it possible for 100,000 other kids in Pakistan. And when I see in this hall, I'm hopeful and I dream. And what you make of me, you will always see me in the ranks of those who work for people. I personally will propel against any storm. I have a TCF-like character. I hope and dream as well to make it possible. My role can be that of a teacher or a revolutionary, and I say the second is more likely. Finally, on behalf of all the children in TCF, I thank you all for coming here every year, and I hope that you will keep coming every year in greater numbers with greater support, and that you will make it possible for many more. Let's bring many more children here. Let's make it possible for many more. Thank you so much. God bless you.
His work is unparalleled in Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, just behold this painting. Look at the colors, the movement, the expression on the rider's face. In this particular painting, you can feel the chase, you can literally hear the thundering of the hooves of the horses.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have exceptional art. I need a 15,000 to open. At 15,000, who opens? At $15,000, who opens? 15. I love that. And the one wasn't even lit, was it? At 15 would have been 16,000. At 15, that'd be $16,000. 15, that'd be 16. At 16, now 17,000. At 16, that'd be 17. And 16, bomb 17,000.
We have someone. We have this gentleman with this lovely red tie. Sir, what's your name?
Shahzad Habib.
Shahzad, can you tell us what prompted you? What took you? What were you thinking when you donated a school?
Education is a very noble cause. It's something that's very dear to our business as well as to our family. Our family spent about 35 years in the field of education. And I think what's very important is that education is what is going to take Pakistan and put us on the foothold on the world stage. And I think from that perspective, education is critical. And most importantly, I think TCF is a fantastic cause. It is a great cause, and Shemi Kidwai is a great inspirer of people, and she can convince anyone, and she's a great individual. So from that perspective, that's what I would like to say.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to you, to your family, for such a noble cause. Thank you, sir. Well, we have another ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for yet another school. Thank you, sir.
I have started a school in our village where I grew up. That will be starting classes in August of this year. And then I'll start another primary school and then build a high school here. So another primary school and high school.
May I have the pleasure of your name, sir?
Muhammad Ilyas.
Muhammad Ilyas, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Hold on a second. So he is donating 2 schools, not just one. We're going for 2 schools, a primary school, a high school, a secondary school. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We really appreciate. TCF family appreciates. Washington, D.C. appreciates. I believe President Trump appreciates as well. Thank you. Adam, would you like to say a few words?
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Naira Ilyas, and my husband retired 3 years ago. Before that, I had a pleasure to visit Pakistan with my late brother. We visited TCF near Lahore and talked to Imran Khan as well. So we are working with Imran Khan as well. And we started one school in Shakargarh, which is almost complete. And we are going to have another primary school and then high school. Love to help the children because God has blessed us to raise our own children, and they are, mashallah, successful, and we want to see that success in every Pakistani child. Thank you.